Hey guys, this is Endu Jr. I decided on a few things. So, episode 1 for Dark Cloud will officially begin now. My idea is I'm going to try and cycle through a couple of games, uh, see if that helps maybe expand the pool of people interested in my videos. And kind of tinker around. At least that way I'm not getting bored just playing one specific game. I'm planning on playing 3 games at once, so I should be able to do that much. So Dark Cloud here is the second one. I know I'm kind of going backwards here, but that's just how it is. And my third one will probably be either later tonight or early tomorrow morning, which is going to be uh crap, Borderlands 2. So once that re-downloads, I'll hop on and do a stream of that, and then I'm gonna try and cycle through them as we go. Don't be doing your own crap, you piece of crap. So once once the game downloads, I'll hop on that and do a stream of that, and then I'll be just that's not what I want. I'll be cycling through between the 3 games. A book was found in some old ruins. All the scholars who decoded it puzzled over the mystery of the book. A world with 2 moons illuminating the sky. The many dazzling adventures of a young boy. But whether or not this is a true story, do you believe in the story woven in the book? Maybe it's a fantasy that existed only in a boy's heart. Let me tell you this story this ancient book tells of. A magical and magnificent fairy tale. And the hero of this wondrous tale, whose name is. So, we're gonna go with the standard name for everyone in this game. Toan is main character, the guy you start off with. So, we'll go with that. Toan. Because, every good game has to start with a cult. Cool. This game can get loud quick. I'll put it up a little bit, but like I said, it can get real loud real quick. You've gathered quite a few of them. I had a hard time finding dancers with the right qualifications. Look at them. Their dance of blood. Mixing the blood of witches with that of humans is the key to breaking the seal. However, I do have some problems. Problems? In order to procure good material, you need adequate. I see. I'll pay you extra. Yes, sir. Thank you. I hate this. I am not a speed reader. Ugh. Yeah, you're gonna have to read it on your own because I'm not that fast of a reader. I get the gist of what they're talking about, but I can't physically read it that quickly. It's it's bullshit. I read at my own pace, and it pisses me off that games like to put the textiles in auto and make it impossible to fucking read for us that are slower. And I could pause, but it literally sits it right in the way of any text that I would read. So there was no point. Flag, sir, do you know the legend of the Dark Genie sealed in the urn? Of course. How much money do you think I put into acquiring this urn? I've been waiting for this for years. Now it's. Yeah, no, I'm done. I tried to read it. It's pissing me off. Go ahead and pause the video or whatever and read it that way, because this freaking game is pissing me off. I can read it in my head just fine, but physically reading it, I'm much slower. Again, because, games have to focus on certain aspects. For an old game, this has some relatively cliched camera angles. What's funny is those are the only camera angles they really give you in the very beginning, and then that's it. Yeah, hi, Dark Genie. This is a lot like Dark Cloud 2, where it's relatively heavily story based. So I'm gonna have probably a few episodes that are going to almost entirely focus on the storyline. I'm gonna try my best to make episodes that focus more on uh the actual, what do you want to call it, the dungeon crawling, but we'll see how that goes. Oh well, that's one guy down, and gulp. Yeah, that's great. Great way to start a game. This is a much older game, so there are no voice actors for this. So I'll read what I can. Hi, how are you today? Tuan, it's already started. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I don't know why it repeats it. It just does. Whatever. See, I told you. You should have hurried. Come on, we're late. I'm a staff member this year, so I have to go. Sorry. Oh, she left you. Tuan, hurry up. Yeah, Mom. Thanks. Tell you what, you gulped that down pretty damn quick. Really like this music. Oh, hi. You suck. Look at the insects squirm about. Start here. Frames per second are amazing. Yeah, so all sorts of problems. I mean, you can't have a decent video game without, things going to absolute shit right off. Oh no. Yep. Nope, they died. That's it. Game over. What's this? Hi there. Can you hear me? Open your eyes. Wake up! Hey! The standard silent protagonist. Go figure. Ahem. I am the Fairy King. I am the entity that unites all of nature's spirits. Listen well, young one. Something bad has happened. Men blinded by greed have revived the Dark Genie. This Dark Genie is terribly powerful. Its power is so great that it could destroy the entire world. You saw it, your own village being destroyed right before your eyes. Not just your village, in a flash, many villages and towns were destroyed. In one night, half of your world was annihilated. It must be the men from the east that performed the resurrection ceremony, probably thinking to use its black demon power for war, without realizing how frightening it is. It is darkness, pure darkness itself. Long ago, this so-called Dark Genie almost destroyed the entire world. Its malevolence is that great. The bad thing is that it has the same type of magical power as us spirits. Unfortunately, we aren't powerful enough to destroy it. Young man, I see that you have a strong will that could withstand the evil power, and also a clear, kind heart. You might be able to fight against the darkness it generates. I decided to stake our fate on you. Let me bless you with power. If I could learn how to speak, that would be great. There, surprised? That's called Atlamelia. It's a stone with a magical power. Oh, don't look that way, boy. I'll explain now. It might get too bright for your eyes for a moment. You know where this is? This is no simple empty lot. This was your village. But do not lose heart. As long as you have that stone, you can return it to its original form. You see, just before the village was destroyed by that genie, I saved the buildings and people by sealing them into spheres called Atla. It seems those Atla were scattered all around by its tremendous magic power. They were probably blown to different places around the world. It probably thinks everything is destroyed. You must restore the world before it realizes what happened. Absorb that which I sealed in Atla, using the Atlamelia, and bring them back. Then you'll be able to restore the world to its original form. You may even be able to create an even better world than before. Hmm. You don't seem to understand anything I'm saying. Oh well, I'll give you another lesson when you acquire some Atla. So long. Talon, can you hear them? You should be able to hear them. Voices of the wind, voices of the trees, voices of the animals, and the voices of Earth. They're all calling for your help. Talon, you will probably meet and say goodbye to many people. In talking to these people, you may receive clues to defeating the darkness. Look for them. Now, Talon, your adventure will begin. First, go to the village chief's house. He'll show you where to go next. Reading. Okay. Alright. I never found these so-called people. Oh, okay, let's, go the right way here. There. Eh. Ah, Talon, you are alive. Seems like we're the only ones in the village that survived. We never dreamt this had happened. One night, and our village is gone. Yeah. Can you believe this, Talon? I feel so helpless. I, the mayor of the village, can't do anything about it. What am I supposed to do now? I guess the only thing we can do is to go. I guess the only thing we can do is to get help from the guardian of Norun Village, Dran. Dran will not abandon us. He'll help us for sure. I have a favor to ask of you, Tolan. Go to the Divine Beast Cave and tell Dran what happened. Divine Beast Cave is the cave outside towards your right hand side. You've probably seen it before. I may be imagining things, but I sense something has changed about the cave. Be careful. This is the cave key. I put the things you might need in your bag for you. Don't get carried away. If you get in trouble on there, come back here. I'll get you more supplies. Good luck. Alright. So, there's a couple of things about this game that are very different. The active items still act the same way. Weapon WHP kind of acts the same way, but now you also have Thirst to worry about. With Thirst, once you've lost the 3 droplets at the bottom there, you become thirsty. When you're thirsty, or dehydrated, however they want to put it, you actually start losing health. kind of like a poison. Except you can also get poisoned. Being poisoned and dehydrated is not a good combo. Um, so, uh, there's a lot of difficulty with this game compared to Dark Cloud 2. Dark Cloud 2, I believe, is the easier one. I only say that because in this game, Dark Cloud, if your weapon loses WHP, your weapon is destroyed permanently. Like, gone, adios, doesn't exist anymore. It is not fun. Doesn't matter how much work you put into a weapon, it will disappear and you'll get nothing for it. It sucks. It's for real this time, Toan. From here on, you must be put to the true test. First, conquer this wretched divine beast's cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon. First, to advance to the next floor in a dungeon, acquire a gate key for the door leading to the next floor. Each dungeon has a different gate key. For the Divine Beast Cave, Dran's Crest will be the gate key. The gate key is almost always carried by a monster in the dungeon. You must defeat the monsters to acquire the gate key. Since you can't tell which one has the key, you just have to defeat them all one by one. Next, I'll tell you about how to return to the ground level, rather than advancing to the floor below. To return to the ground level, mind connect with me. In other words, speak within your mind. When you do this, I will transport your body to the ground level. Just select Leave Dungeon from the main menu. But be aware, if there are monsters left on the floor, the Mind Connect won't work. It will be blocked by their evil energies. In such cases, use the item Escape Powder to get out on your own. The Norun Village Chief has lots of it, so be sure to get it before you go. You can use Mind Connect with me when you go through the gate to the next floor of a dungeon. When you re-enter the dungeon, you can start at the next level, so you won't have to worry about losing progress. Next, it's on to weapons. Be aware that weapons are breakable. The more you use a weapon, the more it wears, and finally it breaks. Broken weapons will disappear. To prevent weapons from breaking, use the item Repair Powder. It will restore their WHP. The longer you use a weapon, by repairing, the more magic it absorbs from monsters and thus becomes stronger. It's said that when a weapon reaches its full strength, it can change to a more powerful form. Keep that in mind. Oh, I cast a special spell on the dagger you have on you, so it'll never disappear. But all the new weapons you will get during the quest will disappear once they break, so be careful. Don't waste your hard work by letting a weapon break and disappear. Finally, the important stuff. The sphere, Atla, where I protected and sealed the fragments of the world. If you see an Atla, don't hesitate to touch it. You can absorb the contents of the Atla into Atlamelia by touching it. When you return to the surface, you will be able to begin reassembling these fragments of the world. Oops, today's lesson ran a little long. That's it for the lecture today. Now, Tuan, show me your true ability on this quest. Yeah, I've been streaming for a half an hour and I've only just now finished the tutorial for the game. Haven't even fought anything yet. It's bull. Bread! I got food! It's a good healing item to get. Ooh, chest. What do you got? A Mimi. Yay. That is absolutely no help to me right now. Oh boy. Unfortunately, compared to Dark Cloud 2, I am not allowed to open chests from behind. They really wanted to just F with people when it came to trying to open up chests. If you run into a mimic, you're pretty much stuck just running. Okay, that cave bat's getting on my nerves. There we go. So the active slots are I treat a little differently in this game compared to the other. There's a couple of things that I particularly like to use. So, two of which, actually, all three of them I can buy later on in the game. But right now I have absolutely no access to. What do you do? Oh, pumped with energy. How about that? Cool. I'm way stronger now. Pumped with energy is a good thing to have. Basically gives me a strength boost for a short period of time and makes things a little easier to kill. Alright. So this up. Got this bone key that'll open up that doorway. Go ahead and refresh myself. There we go. And map. Cool. The question marks in this game also are very different compared to Dark Cloud 2. In Dark Cloud 2, the question marks healed you. But in this game, it's actually pools of water that are usually the healing item we use. Or the healing field, I suppose. However you want to put it. But the question mark in these games actually responds to a back floor, which is a little more tricky. Basically, I can use the question mark if I get the right item, and I can go to the back floor. That area, Macho's house, I always get that first. I think that's like scripted. Anyway, you go to the back room. The monsters are pumped. They do a lot more damage, but you can also get more experience out of it. On top of everything else, you have a good chance of getting some really nice items from the chests there. So it's a very nice area to use. The problem is there's only one area that you can habitually go to the back floor, and that's in like the third area. So unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we get to that. Now, when you level up a weapon, it's the same as with it's the same but different. So you can actually equip things to the weapon, which is very different, and then level it up, and those items will get fused into the weapon. Uh, so it's the same where you're trying to boost the stats by using other items to strengthen it, but it's different in the fact that you have to actually equip it first before you level it up, so that it will permanently attach itself. However, since it's the dagger, I don't see much of a point in doing that. So I'm just gonna level it up and call it good. I will, however, use this to clear the poison, and use this to restore the weapon health, since I can just go and get more from the mare after I finish this floor. Hey, I got my house. How about that? I'd almost never get it that early. Ooh, Sky Hunter. All right. Sky Hunter is a nice little piece. That's actually something for the weapon, if you couldn't tell. So there's 3 slots on this weapon stats. You have standard stats, which is attack, endurance, speed, and MP. They're relatively self-explanatory. The middle section is the elements. So fire, ice, thunder, wind, and holy. And you can equip certain crystals to boost those up. And depending on the opponents that you're fighting, certain attributes will work better than others. And then in the final column, it is the, how you would call the anti-monsters. These basically give you the ability to do more damage versus specific monsters. So anti-dragon does well against reptiles and dragons. Undead, self-explanatory. Marine, rock, plant, mage, mimic, metal, sky, and beast. Those are your 10 types of monsters that you deal with. And as you boost the points in those, you will increase the amount of damage that you can do against those very said monsters. So it's a very detailed way of leveling your weapons. A weapon chest. Yes. So in this game, you can actually tell if it's a weapon chest because of the fact that it's a large chest. Only large chests hold weapons. And they are not common. Now, the problem with large chests is there's a couple of oddities with them. One, they can be king mimics, but those don't usually show up until later in a dungeon. Usually the first couple of floors are safe, so if you run into a weapon chest, if it's early in the dungeon, you're probably safe. The other problem is some chests hold clowns. In Dark Cloud 2, they are relatively rare, and they give you a choice between 2 different boxes. You choose one, and you get what's in that box. The thing with Dark Cloud 2 is they don't specify certain chests, so any and all chests could end up having a clown. But in Dark Cloud, only the large chests can hold a clown. because they don't expect a clown to hide in a tiny little box. So this is it's probably closer to like a 75-25 or maybe even a 90-10. 90 towards a weapon, 10 towards a clown, which would suck. But hopefully it's a weapon. Hey, it's a cry knife. How about that? Awesome. Okay. So there's a few weapons that I particularly like to get a hold of. The ones that I've seen at this time in the game are this one, the cry knife, the kitchen knife. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've seen that around this time in the game. And the Shamshir. The Shamshir, I think, is probably the strongest blade that you can get this early in the game, and that's usually the one that I like to stick with. But for now, this one will work. We can work with this. So I have two choices. All of the main stats, all of those go up with every level, 1 point to each of them. I'm not too worried about focusing on those yet. Ice, thunder, and wind, those are going to be tricky. Though the crystals are not an easy thing to get a hold of, especially early in game. Later on, where you get to a point where you can actually buy them, it's a little easier, but not by a whole lot. And then fish. Right. Okay, that's the top choice. The bottom choice only wants attack and MP, ice, wind, and holy. Oh, hey, Borderlands is... Wow, that was quick. Oof. And then beast, metal, and mage. Ouch. This is not easy either way you look at it. So I'll use it for a while, but I don't see a whole lot of good out of it. I don't know. Anyway, we've cleared the area. It doesn't have it doesn't do the same little gimmick that Dark Cloud 2 does when you clear all the monsters. But we can leave the area. And because it does have the same mechanics where if you leave the dungeon, you will auto heal, mostly, I think. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute, so let me double check that just to be sure. Oh, right. More tutorial. Because, 40 minutes in and I've done one floor. That's great time for more. Seems like you finally came back with some Atla. Very well then, I shall teach you as I promised. The pieces sealed inside Atla are released by touching the Atla with your left hand, where the power of Atlamelia resides. Buildings and people that are sucked into the Atlamelia will be restored to their original form. Once you bring them back to the ground level, you can arrange them as you wish. By going back and forth between the dungeon and the ground level, you can restore the earth to its original form. That's your mission as the one who was granted the power of Atlamelia. Now, let us move on. This may get a bit technical. If you wanted to place buildings, etc., press the select button while walking and go to edit mode. Press the select button again to return to walking mode. In edit mode, you can reassemble buildings that have fallen apart. Place them on the ground. Seeing is believing. Try it yourself. Must be faster than listening to my lecture. Oh, yes, and if you ever forget the things I teach you, use this. A manual. It's a guide for using Atlamelia and other things. I wrote it for beginners like you. The manual can be selected from the main menu. Read it really carefully. Okay, I leave the world's reconstruction to you. I'll be watching. So long. He pops up quite a bit early in and then just kind of falls off after the first, like, well, after this area, really. Once you, oh, my controller died. Well, that was, nice timing. At least it chose now to die instead of waiting until I was in the middle of fighting monsters for that to happen. Okay, fine. Yes, I know, my ugly mug on the screen. Yep. Uh-huh. Alright, there we go. Okay, back to game. That is really bright on that screen. I hope you guys can see that, because I can't really reposition that much better. Alright, there we go. Hop back down. Hop into the mayor's place. And talk with him. Thank you. Alright. So that gave me, well, my antidote drink and my repair powder. So I should be all good there. Yeah, okay. So what it restores is my health, not my thirst. So I'll go ahead and just use this now. And then talk with him again to restore the water. Yes, that's a little broken. We'll get over it. So this is actually the weapon slot. So the item bag is actually separated by 3 slots. You have this tab, which has all of the necessary items that you need. This is the weapons for each of the characters that you can play as. And this is the attachments for said weapons. Can't really do with anything with them on that tab. I don't know why they give you the access to look at those, besides maybe reorganizing them, but that's about it. Alright. So, think, yeah, 15 minutes should be more than enough time to go through one more floor. The cry knife is way stronger than my dagger, so I'll be able to do some decent damage with this. And the undeads are kind of screwed. Kitty! That's actually an important character in this game. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, that was easy. Hi, Scully. Like I said, they're screwed. Oh, you suck. Oh, what's with all the bats? Are you kidding me? That's what I was trying to avoid, thank you. Great. This is freaking fantastic. Alright, let's repair my weapon. And repair my poison. Because apparently I'm just not allowed to get through this easily. This sucks. But I've had worse. Claude. Is that who I think it is? Yes, yes, it is. It's the big guy. All right. You. There we go. Reorganize that. I can't do anything with the rest of that, so go ahead and open that up. It got road. Yay. Holy gem. That is a throwable item that can do damage. I don't usually worry about those kind of things in this one, but mostly because I really don't have the space for it. Yeah, the skellies have absolutely no chance. Actually, I don't think anything does. First couple of floors might be really easy with this thing. Like I said, it's way stronger than the, ooh, ice gem. Another throwable item. But it's way stronger than the dagger, so I don't have to worry about any kind of, major problem with the monsters. I should be able to do some decent damage with them with this sword, so that's reassuring. Oh, hey, Duran's Crest. Still so easy. It's kind of nice when I get a really good weapon like this. Makes things so much easier. Komacho! That is actually Macho's brother. Older brother at that. So, it's kind of funny. Macho is the younger brother, but he's taller than Komacho, who is the older brother. Kinda makes me think of me and my brother. Story for another time. Let's go ahead and just move on. Alright. So, now that I have a weapon that is actually one of the weaker weapons in the. Well, not one of the weaker ones. The weakest breakable weapon that I can get in this area is actually the kitchen knife. That's one of the weaker ones. The cry knife is kind of right in the middle. I just give it a lot of crap because it's not anything like the Shamshir. Odd Gafer, really? I don't even have your cart yet, so can't do anything about that. But yeah, what was I talking about? Right, the the Shamshir is probably one of the easier weapons to use. It is the strongest weapon in this area that you can get a hold of. It's a nice weapon to get. I don't know why I'm so up in arms about specifically getting a Shamshir though, because every time I've gotten one, I usually just end up building it up to a certain point and then breaking it down to put into a different weapon later on in the game. I mean, it's a storyline weapon that starts off unbreakable and completes its mission and becomes breakable, and then quickly ascends into one of the strongest weapons in the game if done proper. And using the Shamshir does that for me. So I don't know. It's something to think about. So I don't really have anything of any real use for this thing. I suppose I can boost the endurance and attack a little bit, but that's about all I can really do. I'll go ahead and equip them. Now, at this point, I suppose some people are wondering why there's one blue square compared to the two white squares. And the reason is every weapon has a different amount of slots that can be used to input attachments, but every weapon has at least two, and one of those is specifically set for weapons. So, say I build the dagger to +5 and then break it down. I could then equip it to my cryknife, and I have to put it into the blue spot. I can't put it anywhere else. So it's a buffer, if you will, to make sure that people can't, dump three different weapons onto one weapon in one go and seriously boost its power exponentially. It's it's to keep things in check. So it's a nice little gimmick. I'll give it that. It's definitely a smart process of working it. So at least then you're not, breaking the game by having a broken ass piece of equipment right off the bat. So, all right. Now that my spiel about weapon building is done, well, for now, we'll move on. Ooh, barbell. That would be for the brothers. But Aaron, they're all question marks. How do you know? I've played this game too many damn times to not know. Sign, that will more than likely be for the old Gayfer. So the Macho Brothers are wanting fence, lamp, annex room, and barbell, which actually I think I might actually have all of that. I do. I actually have all the necessary pieces to finish their house already. That is a new record for me. Usually that takes a few levels to complete. And I just did that in one level. Or two. I did that in 2 levels. That is surprising. Not used to that going that quickly. Alright. So I suppose we'll start by hopping over to the mayor's house and we'll actually, let's see. What do I need to use? So I really need some tasty water. Get that out of the way. Yeah, I could use the repair powder just to be on the safe side. And I think that's everything. So go ahead and talk to him. Cool. Open this up. And we get a prickly. Yay. Now, the cool thing about walking inside buildings, you can actually press one of the L2 or R2. I apparently can't tell the difference between left and right. But you can press L2, R2. Seriously. I can press R2 and I can go first person mode. Makes it very easy to check the houses for these. If you've watched my Dark Cloud 2 videos, you'll know that as you go through the dungeons in Dark Cloud 2, you'll unlock chests that will appear out in the open world. And in Dark Cloud, it's the same. You can open this up, a gourd. That's actually nice. So, gourds are a nice piece of. It's a nice item that actually increases the max level of your thirst. So, give that to max. I'm up to 4 now. Now it takes a little longer for me to get thirsty. A little less time worrying about, becoming thirsty and losing a crap load of health for no reason. Alright, let's go ahead and rearrange some things here. So the Macho's house can go right next to the dungeon because they're crazy about strengthening themselves, so they want to be right next to that. I don't see a reason to really drop my house because literally no one is residing there to repair it. I know it's my house. I should know how to repair it, but apparently I don't. Tawan is not a smart man. Very skilled at what he does with a sword, yes, but not smart. Bread, because, reasons. Tasty water, again, reasons. Okay, Macho. Oh, that was not what I wanted. There we go. Duh. Look, don't forget to expand my room and the barbell. Put that outside. Alright, I can do that. And what the fuck are you doing way the hell out here? Komacho, you bastard. Anyway, what do you need for the house? A fence and a lamp. Yep, cool. So, let's go ahead and just finish them off right here now. Because I can, I want to, and it's funny that I can actually finish it this early, this quickly. That has never happened before. I have never finished their area or their house in 2 dungeon floors. It's a little crazy. Whoa, Tawan, you've done it! Thanks to you, our house is back to normal again. Here, this is for you. Keep it. A stone breaker. This increases your anti-stone ability on your weapons. Hey, that's mine! Hey, bro! What do you think you're doing? Like I always tell you, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. That's how things between big brothers and little brothers should be. I can't take this anymore, bro. We're gonna settle this with a battle. Oh, really? Ready when you are. Now, see, what I don't really understand is why he would care about losing that. Because they fight with their fists. They don't use weapons in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know why he wanted to keep that. Just doesn't make any sense to me. So let's double check. Yeah, no, I don't need rock for the cry knife. So I now have 2 attachments that I can't do diddly with because reasons. Cool. Anyway, like I said, this was a little more story based, which oh, I forgot I grinded that to unbelievable heights. Well, oh well. We'll go to slot 2 then. Just make it number 1. Makes it easy. All right, there we go. So, yeah, 530 times into a dungeon. That might be a little much. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and joining me on this adventure through Dark Cloud. Hope to see you guys again. Bye.